Hey, welcome back to Two Douchey Guys.
Two.
Hey, we got another beer review for you. What do we have today?
Today, we have Polygamy Porter.
From?
They...
Wasatch
Brewing Company out of Utah.
Utah.
We believe they're out of Salt Lake?
It's got to be around
Yeah.
that. Wasatch Mountain Range is right up in that area. Wasatch is between, Salt Lake and Provo area?
They're in Utah.
Gorgeous mountain range. If you haven't been there, go check it out.
Porter, another porter style.
Another porter.
We've really tried to start to incorporate porters into our reviews, but also into our everyday drinking, just so we can try to grow more of appreciation.
Yeah, and also I think the time of the year we start to tend to lean towards darker.
Yeah, if you can see, sweatshirts. It's starting to get
getting
cold.
Cooler. Polygamy Porter, I've seen it on every trip I've taken out to the Salt Lake area. I've seen Polygamy Porter, and it made me chuckle. Now, I hope...
Is it a gimmick? Hell, we don't know.
I hope it's a little
find out.
more than that, but yeah, we are going to find out. So let's go ahead and crack it open. Again, I don't have much experience with Wasatch Brewing at all.
Never had anything from them.
And admittedly, we have looked at Rate Beer.
We always look at rate beer. However, we don't let them influence what we're going to say, what we're going to rate. That's kind of our MO. Regardless of what anybody says, if it doesn't taste good to us, screw it.
Yeah, we're going to be honest about it. So, that said, let's get started.
It almost, the way it comes in, it's a dark brown.
Very
you can
dark
get a
brown.
lot of light through it. It almost reminds me of a brown ale versus a porter. Not a lot of head, really dissipated quickly.
Yeah,
there wasn't even a half finger.
No.
Poured it rather rough.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. But let's get a nose on it.
All right. It actually laces up fairly nice. Smells like a porter to me.
It's interesting. I get right up front. I get coffee. After that, you get the roasted malts. Not a lot, just barely enough to where you know that it's there. I get a little bit of chocolate, and it's going to be the bitter chocolate. But overall, for me, this is really dominated by a coffee smell.
It is, but I want to say there's almost like a dark fruit too. There's almost like a
little
plumish something organic there, fruity.
A little, not
much.
Yeah,
it's just
not
it's
a
subtle.
lot.
And I think, to be honest, I think it's from the yeast more than anything. It's the style. Yeah, that actually doesn't smell too bad.
Yeah. All right, let's get a taste.
Let's taste it. Roast.
The nose really kind of coincides with polygamy. A lot of different things going on belonging to one style. You know what I mean? And then you go into the taste, and it's really disappointing. I get a lot of the roasted malt.
Yeah.
Lots of it. A little bit of coffee. No chocolate, no fruit. To me, it's roast and water. I don't get too much of anything else personally.
I'll say it's roast.
It almost has like a burnt toast type of flavor.
Yeah, it's roast, it's water, and then there's bitterness too. That I would associate with overly toasted malts. Like a high content of a roasted malt or something. You get just astringent bitterness.
And truthfully, like, we're not trying to be hard on this beer, but that's about it. I get a watery, burnt toast flavor with a little bit of bitterness, and I can't really say that there's anything else to it, really. And it's surprising because I did get a little bit more on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, that burnt toast is kind of interesting because it really does remind you of a burnt toast.
But there's like no chocolate. There's no coffee.
I would
There's
say
no dark fruit, really. And there's a tad bit of coffee, but it's not enough to really care.
Any of the coffee that does exist is that astringent pressed coffee flavor.
It's like green coffee.
No, I'm thinking it's overly roasted, super dark roast. It just doesn't prevail. It's not prevailing throughout the whole thing, but it's there. It's a dark, overly roasted coffee. You're not getting any coffee flavor. You're just getting roast.
Like the roasted acidity type of...
Yeah. And there is the characteristic of the style. There is some of that taste. There's almost a bitterness from that as well. The yeast that they must be using for the style.
I will say, despite that, it's very easy drinking.
Yeah.
Mostly because it doesn't have any flavor, really, to me, on the back end. For me, it's you get the little punch up front, and then you get a little bit in the middle, and then it dies.
And what was the ABV on this?
The ABV, I don't think it's too high, truthfully. I want to say it's about 4%.
Right, okay, yeah.
Let me check, though. Go ahead and...
Well, I was just saying, it is easy drinking, and the ABV, I believe, is pretty low.
4%, exactly.
Okay.
So, to me, in a porter, you need to have at least 5 for it to matter, truthfully.
Okay.
If you can't, if you're not a session and you're not like a traditional German style, you should be above 5. You should be above a Budweiser, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I guess style dictates, so. But yeah, I think it should be a little higher. But
real quick,
we don't really know what the laws are.
Yeah, we did, like you said, we did look at the Rate Beer site. For style, which is porter, they gave it a 16.
A 16 out of 100.
Out of 100. And then for overall, they gave it a 40.
Wow.
So, one of our MOs, we are unbiased. We don't take into account anybody else's ratings because they don't have our taste buds. So what are you going to give this one? For style.
For style, I honestly don't find this offensive at all. I don't
offensive doesn't equate to quality.
Right, you're right. It doesn't, but I don't find it to have any bad flavors or anything that's off real bad. It just it's lacking in total roundness.
Yeah.
I'll go for the style. I'll go 5.5.
For me, the nose saves it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to the taste. The nose does give you a little bit of variety. You get the tiny bit of baker's chocolate, dark chocolate, tiny bit of fruit, a lot of roast. That to me does it more justice easily than the taste. I'll give it a 5 for style. I'll say it's right on par, maybe a little above what Guinness is. Just because Guinness kind of does the same thing. You get most
different
of the flavor.
style, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't compare the two.
Traditionally, Guinness is a porter. However, it is an Irish dry stout. To me, both of them have most of their flavor up front and then die on the back end. This one has a little more sharpness to it.
Are you talking about Guinness Extra Stout or Draft? Or
Never had Extra Stout.
Okay, because I think of Extra Stout when we talk about Guinness, and this is totally different.
Well, okay.
So you're right.
Yeah.
No, if you're talking Draft,
Yeah,
I could see that.
Draft is what I'm referring to. But yeah, 5 for me for style.
Yeah, okay. Overall, I'm going to stick... I'm going to stay at a 5 with overall. It's not...
So you're going to go down.
Yeah, I am going down slightly. This isn't something that... Again, porter's not my favorite style to begin with. If I'm just casually drinking... I drank the Polygamy Porter. I'll probably never do it again.
And that's not just because we can't get it here.
No, it's not. I've always, like I said, I've seen this many times, and I've often wanted to get just to have the bottle.
I was going to say, it's a nostalgia factor based on the name.
It's a gimmick.
It really is, yeah.
And
a brilliant gimmick at that. You're really playing up the religion of Utah, pretty much.
It really is. Your land, where you come from, they're playing off it beautifully for what Utah is known for. One of the things, beautiful country. Don't get me wrong.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, I'll probably not ever pick that up again. So, if it was there and I was drinking and there was, Big 3 and that, I'd probably throw that in the mix. You heard me. I'd throw it in the mix. I wouldn't necessarily choose that over anything else.
You would pick a Bud, Miller, or a Coors over this beer.
I would mix them.
So you're saying yes.
I would have some Bud, and I would have 1 or 2 of these here and there.
To me, the only one that could compare would be regular Budweiser.
That's exactly
and
what I'm
for me, the
talking
only
about.
reason is because the alcohol is higher. Other than that, flavor profile wise, this one's still tremendously better.
Yeah, don't. We're rating this fairly low. Go ahead and do your rating. We'll discuss that.
And for me, to play off what we're saying, Budweiser, any of the big three, for me, Budweiser is the highest. I would give it a 3.5, 4 tops. This one, for me, overall 5. I'm going to stick with where it's at. It's average for a porter, maybe below. And it's average, maybe below for overall. I'm not going to pick this one a lot. In fact, I'm not going to pick it really unless I'm comparing it against other bottom-of-the-barrel styles. Not to assault this brewery. I haven't had anything else from them. But to me, this one doesn't do it for me. It's not what I want.
It's just not very complex or deep with.
You can't even say complex and have it matter in this. Because there's not really much to it, period. The nose is better than the taste, and the taste is poor. That being said, I'm still going to pick it over anything other than maybe Bud for the main three, being Miller, Coors, Anheuser-Busch, InBev, because they got bought out by a conglomerate that's bigger than them overseas because they're un-American. But
I've had Budweiser straight out of the tank. I know that
which he says is great, but he has yet to drink a Budweiser since. So
that's true. But Budweiser can taste good, and I'm
3 months. That being said, it's okay.
Yeah.
5s across the board for me. He went 5.5 style, 5 overall.
Yeah, and I think that's realistic.
Yeah. It's okay. Expected better. Didn't get it.
I've had better.
Had way better.
So, sorry to down it, but we're being realistic, and it's just not very interesting.
To be fair, if we were to let other views influence us, we would have gave this one a 1. But
we don't.
I refuse to do that because it's way better than that. Not better than a 5.
So if you've had it,
and you like it, definitely comment. Let us know why we're dumbasses.
Even if you don't like it, put it down below.
Yeah, definitely comment. Let us know why you agree with
about.
us. Yeah.
What do you think of the Polygamy Porter from Wasatch Brewing?
Yeah.
And maybe you can point us to some other Wasatch beers that are
maybe better
than
yeah.
that. So.
If you like the video, like it. If you don't, dislike. Take anything.
Rate.
And subscribe.
Yeah. Hey.
If you like us, subscribe. If you don't, and you want to make fun of us, still subscribe. You can still make fun of us on a regular basis. 3 videos a week.
That's
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So keep watching.
2DG.
See you.